Hi, welcome, collective. I'm just gonna do a little midnight reading, lighting a little sage. How's everybody doing? I'm Metaphysical Mama. A little sage burn and clear to energy. Smells so good. Take a couple nice deep breaths. Center your energy. And allow ourselves to come to a neutral place so we can have clear messages. And it's the beginning of creation, right? Midnight. Happy equinox, happy fall. That's September 22nd. We just entered into the next day, 12 a.m. So whenever you get here is fine. It's just the time I happen to be in at this present moment. I might have a little bit of a different vibe than I normally carry. So we're just gonna play with some, let's see, let's get a spirit animal card. To start off our energetic flow. So how's everybody doing? End of the summer, what a bummer. Fall into fall. Taking bricks out of our walls. Some of us are building some walls. That's okay. That's just out of fear. I have no fear. Metaphysical Mama's here. Oh, and I have to we got the dolphin. Got the dolphin card, number 40, which is super cool. I'll lift it up a little for you so you can see. Come here, dolphin. Which has to do with Sirius star system energy. Should probably lift y'all up a little, but this is what we're dealing with for now. So hopefully you don't mind the view too much. Hopefully the view's okay. So we're gonna play today. Beginning of a new day. Entering into fall, right? Which is autumn attunement. So we're tuning up our mortal instruments, our immortal instruments, allowing ourselves to let go of what no longer serves us, right? Things pass away in the fall. Everything looks like it dies in the fall, goes, right? The leaves fall off of the trees and can appear to be, right, dead, not have life upon them. Oh, and we got Batty. We got Batty. Sorry, please forgive my jiggling. You're jiggling, baby. 42. It's a nice nocturnal animal to pop in and visit us. What's in the way? What we got? Oh, Mr. Rock. My super cool rock was hanging out in front of the camera eye there. So if you'd like to look up the spirit animal medicine of the bat and the spirit animal medicine of the dolphin, or maybe we can do so together. But I strongly suggest taking a peek and doing your own research so you can incorporate the medicine of those animals as it pertains to you individually and personally. To me, first of all, the dolphin and the bat both, are able to communicate through, right, unseen abilities. A dolphin kind of talks, right, does a little, but they communicate through sonar, and a bat through radar. So that's pretty cool that we pulled two, right, an aquatic being and a flyer, and a nocturnal and a, right, an all-nighter. I don't know about dolphins. Do they sleep? I think they may. I think they do. I don't really know that, honestly. I have to do some research on but if they do, I'm sure not much. Fish can't really just like relax. It's not like they can like lay down and rest, right? Some of them. It's like an octopus. But octopus ain't a fish. And a dolphin ain't a fish either, right? Dolphin's a mammal. Sentient beings. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got collective. We got Alice in Wonderland hanging out with us here. I got my and two. I was gonna actually, you know what? Since we just hit midnight, let's read the history for today before we get into the Alice in Wonderland and start jumping down rabbit holes. Because I had pulled up the history of today. Well, I pulled up what happened in the astronomical events, but it popped up September 22nd Wikipedia, so I'm just gonna read that real quick. And today is actually the 265th day of the year, so we have exactly 100 days left till the end of the year, which is pretty cool. So happy 100-day mark, 100 days left till the end of the year. That's kind of cool thing. It is frequently the day of the autumn equinox in the northern hemisphere and the day of the vernal equinox in the southern hemisphere, though sometimes this falls on September 21st or September 23rd instead. Birds. I need my glasses on. There's a whole shit ton of birthdays for that day. Let's see. There was some real interesting stuff that happened on today. Pre to the 1600s. The warlord Zhu Huang kills Emperor Cao, the penultimate emperor of the Tang dynasty, after seizing control of the imperial government. Oh, that's much better. I put my glasses on. I can see the light. 1236, the Samogitians defeat the Livonian brothers of the sword in the Battle of Saul. 1499, the Treaty of Basel concludes the Swabian War. 1586, the Battle of Zutphen is a Spanish victory over the English and Dutch. And the first thing I read, the warlord Zhu Huang, oh, I just butchered that so bad, kills Emperor Cao, the penultimate emperor of the Tang dynasty, after seizing control of the imperial government. That happened in 904, which is a 13. 1601 to 1900. Till 1900, the last hanging of those convicted of witchcraft in the Salem witch trials. Others are all eventually released. 1711, the Tuscarora War begins in present-day North Carolina. Oh, Tuscarora War began in the present day, what we call North Carolina. Interesting. 1761, George III and Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz are crowned king and queen, respectively, of the Kingdom of Great Britain. 1776, bicentennial year, Nathan Hale is hanged for spying during the American Revolution. That came up actually earlier in something else I read today too. Nathan Hale. 1789, the Office of United States Postmaster General is established. Interesting. Lots of warlocks in the post office. Well, nothing wrong with a warlock. We got good and bad and beautiful and ugly and everything in between in all places. 1111. And right, there ain't no prejudiceness. There's just right. We're all mixed up. So again, take what resonates on my channel, please, kindly, and always leave the rest. That's what I suggest, and that's what works best. And as far as I'm concerned, and yeah, again, you know, whatever's not resonating in the now moment, it's okay to just let it go. Maybe it may come up again another day, right? Because we're planting seeds or gardening. So it's okay if something don't make no sense or it don't seem like it means shit right now, right? If it does one day or now, then wonderful, beautiful, woohoo, great. And I really hope it does. And if not, that's okay too. Right? Please kindly like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get notified when I pop up on here and or go through some old videos, whatever you know you're gravitated to or resonated, whatever resonates with you, maybe a thumbnail or a word. Again, we always take what resonates. What we're gravitated to is for us in some manner or form. There's a message for us within. So we just have to be willing to allow, right, spirit to come in and upgrade our DNA and not be such chicken shits and be afraid and run away. Why did the chicken cross the road anyway? You know, turkeys were the official bird of America, and before they changed it to the eagle. And I just found out yesterday. I had no idea about that part of the turkey that they, when it rains, are known for going outside and well, obviously they're outside, not going outside, but if they're outside, they have been known to open up and say ah and drown themselves in the rain. If they put their head up to drink rainwater, they've drowned doing so. I was like, oh my goodness. No wonder why we switched it from turkey to the eagle. So sorry, I'm playing with my amethyst. Can't really see it. I'll give you a little look-see because it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Nice healing energy there. I'll leave her there for a few. So let's finish reading. Let's see what else. Nathan Hale, Post Office Battle of Rymnik, 1789. Alexander Suvorov's Russian and Allied armies defeat superior Ottoman Empire forces. 1792. Primedi Vendemiaire of year one of the French Republican calendar as the French First Republic comes into being. 1823. Joseph Smith claims to have found the golden plates after being directed by God through the angel Moroni to the place where they were buried. Sorry, I bumped you a little there. Oh, more than once. Bonking a donk donk. What is in the way there? What is that? Oh, my malachite. Like, what's in the view there? Mr. Malachite. Trying to obstruct the view. Interesting, eh? Let's see. In 1857, the Russian warship Lefort capsizes and sinks during a storm in the Gulf of Finland, killing all 826 aboard. Oh, that was 8:26 a.m. 862, a preliminary version of the Emancipation Proclamation is released by Abraham Lincoln. 1866, the Battle of Curupaypati is Paraguay's only significant victory in the Paraguayan War. 1885, Lord Randolph Churchill makes a speech in Ulster in opposition to the Irish Home Rule movement. Irish Home Rule movement. That is. Randolph Churchill. Is he a Winston Churchill relative? Must be, right? 1891, the first hydropower plant of Finland was commissioned along the Temerkowski Rapids and Tampere-Pirkanmaa. Please forgive me when I'm butchering the words and sounds. 1892, Lindell Railway incident, providing inspiration for the Lost Special by A.C. Doyle and the TV serial Lost. 1896, Queen Victoria surpasses her grandfather King George III as the longest reigning monarch in British history. Yeah, in 1896, Queen Victoria. That was Queen Victoria. Okay, 1901, the Duke until the present. The Duke of York's picture house opens in Brighton, now the oldest continually operating cinema in Britain. 1914, a German submarine sinks 3 British cruisers over a 70-minute period, killing almost 1,500 sailors. In 1919, the steel strike of 1919, led by the Amalgamated Association of Iron and Steel Workers, begins in Pennsylvania before spreading across the United States. 1934, the Gresford disaster in Wales kills 266 miners and rescuers. 6, 6, 12, 13, 14. 1, 4 is 5. 1939, World War II, a joint Army-Soviet military parade in Brest-Litovsk is held to celebrate the successful invasion of Poland. 1941, the Holocaust in Ukraine. On the Jewish New Year Day, the German SS murders 6,000 Jews in Vinnytsia, Ukraine. Ugh. Those are the survivors of the previous killings that took place a few days earlier, in which about 24,000 Jews were executed. Ugh. 1941. And 1941 is when we started with medications such as antidepressants and what have you, because people were harmed in war and came back because they lost people. Some came back harmed. Many were depressed because they lost, family, friends, etc., loved ones. So now that put them in a state of depression, kind of like now. We're all being put in a state of fear due to a pandemic, which there's truth to these natures. However, discernment is very important. So we have understanding and thorough understanding of what resonates with you and your bloodline and your ancestors and the universe that is inside of you. But yeah, 1941, that's when we started. What was the name of that drug? Thyme, something. Dang it. Thyme something. And so when we started to give people, the medications, people that were pregnant were taking antidepressants, and people that were hurt were taking, prescription and pain medicines and stuff like that. So this is what started us having, we never had babies with defects. It's 1222. That until that moment in time. So that, gives you a clue, right? Look up Nuremberg trials. Once we start playing around and putting things, alien substances in our body that are mixed and matched and pulled, and hatched from rushing and pushing and forcing things to either grow prematurely or yank them before they're ready, or and then mix things together and right try to mimic and replicate nature. It may give us a momentary lapse of time that we may be able to right continue doing what we're doing and stay on a hamster wheel, but eventually we're going to have to get off the treadmill, hamster wheel, etc., and take a look at what we've manifested and why we have manifested some sort of dis-ease or pain or ailment within our body that is now causing us imbalance in our systems, right? And we may have, you know, um, it's like sometimes we get hurt because we're used to doing something. So because our body's doing a routine job every day or whatever it is that we do every day, our body starts to hurt. We may hurt a hip, our knees, our ankles, right? The back, the lower back, the neck, the wrists, the skin. There's so many things that, right, we right, gather and hold on to along the way. And every emotion is attached to an organ in the body. So when we're holding on to negative thoughts and feelings, or just redoing the same thing constantly, our bodies, it takes a toll, right? You got to pay a toll to go over the bridge or through the tolls. I mean, we started on the tolls, but you know it takes a toll on us. So, but we always have ability to heal. Our body is a pretty amazing thing, right? It's made of lots of love. And in order to detox and clear our waters so that we have the ability to see a little bit more clearly. Damn, her recording. Oh boy. That was not me if you heard that one in the background. Trumpets blowing in the background. um, but yeah, we're made of nothing but love and a bunch of elementals, right? Like, other half over there just had some gas in the background, right? So, tooting the horns, or, oh, I just blew all my ashes to ashes. Um, right, we're made of all the elements and all these gases and, all these different things, and sound and vibration and, right, consciousness. So it's such a freaking amazing instrument we all are. We just need to tune it up, man. Remember that song, video way back in their commercial? Freedom rock, man. We'll turn it up, man. Oh, so let's see. We're almost done with the list here. 1948, Gail Halverson officially starts parachuting candy to children as part of the Berlin airlift. 1948, Israeli-Palestine conflict. The All-Palestine government is established by the Arab League. That's interesting. That's not too. 1948. That's also 10, 18, 19, 20, 22. 22. And it's okay, 1227. It was 1222 though before we said. Okay. So, because a lot of times, right, repeat narratives get processed and done to bring that vibration or keep that record playing. So sometimes when we detect the record that's still left in a corner of a room just playing with nobody in it, just to draw energies to it, etc. It's like a decoy, right? So then it just, once we see it, it becomes absolved, because truth always resonates and pierces right through any And it's just stagnant energy or something that got left behind, or right. So it's like more principalities. So when we get scared or in fear and we're like, part of us, like, or sneeze, achoo, right, our heart stops, or part of us jumps out of ourselves. So we become scattered and fragmented, and we lose parts of ourselves, or we get so busy with our daily, everyday chores and lives that we forget to, you know, first of all, we don't give ourselves permission in order to take care of ourselves and feed our imagination and our inner child and our, divine nature and creative, primal, primordial, passionate, right, animalistic being, as well as, right, be our loving human selves as we're, right, evolving into, right, Christ consciousness, or however, we're evolving, right? It's like whatever is blooming and growing, the seeds are, right, popping like popcorn. So allow yourself the time and space to go through what you need to go through. When you need to rest, rest. When you feel like, I feel like taking a nice bath with some Epsom salt, lighting some candles, putting on some music, right? Just being in a quiet space or sitting outside. We meditate just when we're driving in our car or washing some dishes, all right? Sitting on the porcelain throne, right? Relieving ourselves of all our organic matter, which has been stored up inside us or just passes right through, right? But it carries consciousness and memory of what we thought and anything else that's touched it, what have you, before it entered our mouth and went through our gut and out our, right, butt. but, or, right, again, like, yeah, urination, like from swamp gas from Uranus and urination. So again, like, not right to be foul, but, it's just what is. So, right, sometimes, like, right, things aren't always like the most prettiest, but I'm aware that manure, right, makes a really good garden grow. So I don't necessarily want to eat shit, if you know what I'm saying. However, okay, sometimes we gotta deal with the shit. So let's see, 1957 in Haiti, Franco Duvalier is elected president. I apologize. Butchering. Ugh. The 1960 In 1960, the Sudanese Republic is renamed Mali after the withdrawal of Senegal from the Mali Federation. 1965, the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965 between India and Pakistan over Kashmir ends after the United Nations calls for a ceasefire. 1966, 24 people are killed when Ansett ANA Flight 149 crashes in Winton, Queensland, Australia. 1975, Sarah Jane Moore, Sarah without an H, tries to assassinate U.S. President Gerald Ford, but is foiled by the Secret Service. Good day. 1979, a bright flash resembling the detonation of a nuclear weapon is observed near the Prince Edward Islands. Its cause is never determined. So a bright flash resembling the detonation of a nuclear weapon in 1979, observed near the Prince Edward Islands, is caused never determined. So Prince Edward Islands, off to gematria, that shit. 1980, Iraq invades Iran. 1991, the Dead Sea Scrolls are made available to the public for the first time. That's pretty awesome. So maybe it was just 3003 as I said that, and it's 1233. Maybe we'll have some, new release of information that we'll have to play with and decipher and go through and investigate and recycle and rebuild, so to speak, rejuvenate, transmute, take care of. Let's see, that would be super cool. 1993, a barge strikes a railroad bridge near Mobile, Alabama, causing the deadliest train wreck in Amtrak history. Ooh, 47 passengers are killed, which is an 11, 4 and 7. A barge strikes a railroad bridge near Mobile, Alabama. Yeah, that's some metaphysical shit right there. Causing the deadliest train wreck. I was talking about the train earlier this morning in this morning's video. Choo choo. Us love got to do with it. That sounds like we gotta check through some research into that one. Mobile, Alabama train wreck in 1993. I vaguely am remembering that. I have to, I was young. So let's see, 1993, a Transair Georgian Airlines TU-154 is shot down by a missile in Sukhumi. Sukhumi? Sukhumi? Is that a joke? Sukhumi, Georgia? Talk about metaphysical etymology. Sukhumi. All right, 1995, an E-3B AWACS crashes outside Elmendorf Air Force Base, Alaska, after multiple bird strikes to two of the four engines soon after takeoff. All 24 on board are killed. 1995, the Nagercoil school bombing is carried out by the Sri Lanka Air Force, in which at least 34 die, most of them ethnic Tamil school children. Oh, man, that shit ain't ever cool. 2006, 23 people were killed in a maglev train collision in Latin, Germany. Remember that. 2013, at least 75 people are killed in a suicide bombing at a Christian church in Peshawar, Pakistan. And that's all for today's history. On Wikipedia, anyhow. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Wacky, wacky, wacky. I don't know. So I don't know how interesting that was. 30 minutes in. I definitely am going to gematria some of that. What was the one? Gematria. The island Prince something. See, shit goes out of my head too quick. In and out. Oh, wait. Stockholm Public Library. How did I miss that? Did I say that? Oh, no. Designed the Stockholm Public Library. It's a birthday. Gunnar Asplund, Swedish architect and academic. Birthdays. All the birthdays of today. Mad birthdays. Mad birthdays. I mean, obviously, from 1601 to 1900. Chinese Emperor, Anne of Austria. Philip Stanhope, 4th Earl of Chesterfield. Whoever that is. Trying to see if I see any names that are like recognizable big time. I probably just don't even know any of them. Anyhow, so yeah, to continue on. So, happy equinox. Let's read a little about the moon in today's phase. And I'm gonna go pop into the moon calendar, which is like the Farmer's Almanac. So we're in waning gibbous moon. The moon is in Aries, and this affects our head, our teeth, tongue, the striated muscles, the penis, gallbladder, arteries, and the blood. Those are the organs that are now more sensitive, so provide them with care, extra care. So like, and the lunar calendar is a 13-month calendar. So going by the lunar calendar, sometimes, it's like to tap in with the nighttime, our innermost self and the inner earth, the darkness where creation happens. Says the feeling of uncertainty can make you solve problems faster than is natural. Do not rush as if there was a deadline. Try to slow down so that you can decide what you want to do and proceed at your own comfortable pace. So remember to recenter your center of gravity by taking a breath or two or three. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Remember the owl commercial? 1, 2, 3. And it's waning gibbous moon in Aries, 17 degrees. Yes, surgical operations are recommended during the waning moon. However, avoid surgeries of organs under the influence of the moon sign. So all the ones that I just mentioned, you should not go, try to avoid having surgery on, today. The head, teeth, tongue, striated muscles, penis, gallbladder, arteries, and blood. Let's see, what else do we have? Earth sky today times arrow. Relativity. Lots of stuff with time and space and relativity and quarks and the black hole and lots of quantum physics coming into play. And right, dark matter, antimatter, the Big Bang. Oh, Big Bang equals inflation. It says right here, accelerated expansion of the universe. We think of the universe as having a timeline, a point at which it began until now. But how much do modern cosmologists really know about time? We just read about time the other day in one of my videos, right? The metaphysical meaning of time and the etymology. We read through both of those things. I strongly suggest either checking that out. I don't think I titled the video that, but I would definitely look that up on your own if you weren't here for that. And or again, it was a couple days ago. Scan through, and I know that my videos tend to be kind of long, but I just go with the flow. So again, take what resonates. If it ain't for you, that's okay. You can keep on passing, keep on puff passing on through. And I hope you come again another time. And if not, I wish you well and nothing but love for you, honey. And that's all I can do. That's all. It's like that. Just a matter of connecting with where we need to be at the right moment in time. And if it ain't the right, flavor, or it ain't the right tune, that's completely okay. It's like no judgment. It's like, that ain't the song I want to listen to right now, or that ain't doing nothing for me right now. Totally cool and fine. Let's see. So, what is time? This is according to earthsky.org. I like this website a lot also. So we got also in the sky. is like Jupiter. That is what's so bright. Damn, yeah, Jupiter be bright right now. Formula, I see formula. What is that? I can't see very well. I can't see the picture. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, all the big dogs. All lined up, ready to go. So we got Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and then Formahalt in the lower left-hand corner there. At the bottom, just hanging around like a ground line, right above the ground. With their eyes. So it's like, yeah, southeast to south, September evening. Um, the moon passes 4 degrees north of Saturn on September 17th, 2021 at about 3 Universal Time. It passes 4 degrees north of Jupiter on September 18th at about 7, which we already passed right now in time, present moment, or September 22nd. On any of these evenings, September 15th to the 18th, 2021, the moon can guide you to these two outer solar system worlds. By the way, though we show Pluto on our chart, it's about 1,000 times too faint to be viewed with the eye alone. The eye of Horus, which must be why we pulled Batty in the beginning. Right, speaking of radar and like satellite in my eye. um, so yeah, that's kind of funny. Sorry, I'm knocking you around a little there. Not funny, right on time, awesome, and fucking cool. So yeah, and again, how long does it take light to travel? And that's just for us to see. When we see the stars now, we're looking millions, thousands and millions of years into the past. It takes that much time for the light to travel and appear in front of our naked eye, which is also what we're made of. So funny. It's like we're, right? Big bang, expansion, inflation. I guess that's what they were just saying. Gargantuan. I'm going to bump ahead because we're out of that time presently. I don't even know what either. It's not right proper date there. Chicken me backwards. Saturn, which is all cool and fine. So because yeah, you're gonna see that all through September. If you see how bright Jupiter is, it's like right underneath the moon when it was rising up the last like week or so, that real bright star, planet, body of water. So it says, what is time? Imagine time running backwards. People would grow younger instead of older, and after a long life of gradual rejuvenation, unlearning everything they know, they would end as a twinkle in their parents' eyes. That's time as represented in a novel by science fiction written by Philip K. Dick. But surprisingly, time's direction is also an issue that cosmologists are grappling with. While we take time for granted, while we take for granted that time has a given direction, physicists don't. Most natural laws are time reversible, which means they would work just as well if time was defined as running backwards. But time is not linear. So why does time always move forward? And will it always do so? Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's like an ocean, right? So there's depths and volumes, and like, right, a moment in time can seem like it measures a memory or something that we can remember, a memory RAM, from one point in time to another. But it's not linear, right? Because it can go back and forth and all over the place like a hummingbird, right? Time is a perception. Let's see, does time have a beginning? Any universal concept of time must ultimately be based on the evolution of the cosmos itself. When you look up at the universe, you're seeing events that happened in the past. And we're just saying, it takes light time to reach us. In fact, even the simplest observation can help us understand cosmological time. For example, the fact that the night sky is dark. If the universe had an infinite past and was infinite in extent, the night sky would be completely bright, filled with light from an infinite number of stars in a cosmos that had always existed. For a long time, scientists, including Albert Einstein, thought that the universe was static and infinite. Observations have since shown that it is in fact expanding and at an accelerating rate, right? Jupiterian expansion, or just saying how big Jupiter looks, right? And last year too, like it's like super bright, like a diamond in the sky. So this means that it must have originated from a more compact state that we call the Big Bang, right? Which is also a sign of the cross, or where form began, because a positive and a negative, right, is a positive and negative thought. Magnets are going to naturally travel away from, repel, right, away from one another. And every positive thought has to have a negative opposite or equal, and every negative thought has to have an equal or opposite positive. Right? That's how we, right? That's how the poles are created, right? Any polar opposites, right? The law of polarity. And so sign of the cross or Big Bang, or right, inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, the center of the earth, the heart, right, chakra, the iron, molten lava, right, beating core, where the vibration of Om, so I was just right, and so originally, right, positive and negative are going to travel, separate, and not even knowing about one another. And then all of a sudden, they're going to be drawn, gravitationally drawn toward one another at lightning speed and crash. Now we have the sign, right, of the cross, and that causes a huge explosion fire. Now we have, right, I've been standing in a burning ring of fire. So now we have this ring of fire that is, right, encircled and capsuled around the two atoms, um, right, holding them prisoner also, so to speak. And but also, but right, could feel like that because originally they were like la di da di da, la di da di da. So right, that's sign of the cross, ring of fire. Now we also have, right, feminine, female form. That's Eve, but that was created in the darkness of the womb of Gaia, right, the consciousness of, right, the dark mother. So let's see, the cosmic microwave background. So yeah, I can go into microwave background. Back to the batty, right? Radar, microwave, right? And also, when they do like nuclear testing, and also that can represent, like, right now, the virus is dormant inside us until it gets, sorry about that, activated. So as it gets activated, it gets messy and mixed up, and we have, right, nuclear atomic atom reactions. The two atoms that are now nestled in that circle, right, crisscross applesauce, or look at a battery, right? Any battery has to have a positive and a negative on either end, right? And right, we encapsule the energy, right? Because otherwise it would be chaos. Otherwise it doesn't. Otherwise it's chaos, right? Right, but two atoms encircled. Now we have something for it to, right? A positive, is that electron with the positive in it? So yeah, okay. So cosmic microwave background. Realizing this was the first step in determining the age of the universe. So relativity, but there is a snag. Einstein's special theory of relativity shows that time is relative. The faster you move relative to me, the slower time will pass for you relative to my perception of time. Did you get that? Let's see. The faster you move relative to me, the slower time will pass for you relative to my perception of time. So, in a universe of expanding galaxies, spinning stars, and swirling planets, experiences of time may vary. Everything's past, present, and future is relative. So, right, so whatever you can relate to in your now moment is what's relative, because that's what you can work with in your now and present moment, right? That's why we call it present again, right? Because it's a gift to remain present so we can receive all that good light codes and mana and information from the universe, right? And this is the age of Aquarius, which is the age of information and knowledge traveling at fast lightning speed, right? 5G. Let's see. It turns out that because the universe is on average the same everywhere and on average looks the same in every direction, there does exist a cosmic time. To measure it, all we have to do is measure the properties of the cosmic microwave background. Cosmologists have used this to determine the age of the universe, its cosmic age. It turns out that the universe is 13.799 billion years old. Wow. I wonder, is the universe wrinkly? Just kidding. Let's see. Time's arrow. So we know time most likely started during the Big Bang. But there is one nagging question that remains. What exactly is time? And again, look up the metaphysical meaning of time so you have a deeper perception and knowledge and awareness, right, of how time and space, money, if you look up those with words, right, the etymology, the metaphysical meaning, right? That's how we dig deeper, right? Verses from the Bible, a word from the Bible, a term, whatever pops, right? Popcorn into your head, right? It's harvest time, right? So we're going through the fields, collecting the grains, right? Wheat, barley, and oats. In the storehouse, and what assets, are we an asset? Are we working on ourselves and, right, treating others how we would like to be treated, right? And to thine own self be true, right? Um, yeah, as fall, as reaper time, right? We reap what we sow, right? Um, so we balance as we go. And here we're going to read Time's Arrow. And again, this is off the earthsky.org website if you like to check that out. They got cool shit up here all the time. You can hop around and check out. So to unpack this question, we have to look at the basic properties of space and time. In the dimension of space, you can move forwards and backwards. Commuters experience this every day, but time is different. It has a direction. You always move forward, never in reverse. So why is the dimension of time irreversible? This is one of the major unsolved problems in physics. Wait a minute, let me think about that again. Wait, to unpack this question. So wait, where did I stuck? In the dimension of space, you can move forward and backwards. Commuters experience this every day. But time is different. It has a direction. You always move forward, never in reverse. So why is the dimension of time irreversible? This is one of the major answers. Well, because there's no such thing as time. Again, yeah, it's just a measurement. So the human perception wants to make it linear and have a point A to a point B, But if we're going back to the past, if you can't reverse time in that manner, but we can, right, look in the now and present moment, we can revert to the past. We can, like, right, open that floodgate, that nozzle, that valve a little bit and allow, or sometimes it comes flooding in, right? Because that's why they call this the flood and shit. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get notified. And share, tribies. So yeah, it's not, nothing's really irreversible, right? That's why we have free will. So it's like once we've done it, then we've done it. If we right, use our free will and our intention to do it and then do it again with will ill. That's a different, again, there's different spectrums and different sheets going on here. So, right, as we go through the judgment of the living and the dead and ourselves in our own head, right? And God is within us. So this is, right, an inside job. It was just 55, and as I said that. So, go with the flow and stop looking at the time and thinking you ain't got none. Right? Time is also an entity, right? Father time. So it's like, right, to have respect for time. Time is money, right? And money is time. So they say. Is that the same entity? I don't know. Okay, let's see. To explain why time itself is irreversible, let's see what they say. We need to find processes in nature that are also irreversible. One of the few such concepts in physics and life is that things tend to become less tidy as time passes. Well said. We describe this using a physical property called entropy that encodes how ordered something is. Imagine a box of gas in which all the particles were initially placed in one corner, an ordered state. Over time, they would naturally seek to fill the entire box, a disordered state. Like my bed, like I always say, becomes my, like, I have two beds in my room. So it's like I sleep on one and the other is I call it my bed desk because it's like just I pile books upon it and then I clear it off. I try to, and then they just go right back. Right? Or it's like you'd have a purse as a girl. No matter if we take a little purse or a big purse, we fill that shit. Or I used to. So now I just try to not carry one. Or I end up with, yeah, millions of things as I'm walking out the door. I need my books and my bags and hold on one more thing. I don't know what else I need. Oh, cheapers. So you had to almost pick me up over your shoulder and carry me out. All right. Excuse me. Let's see. Over time, they would naturally seek to fill the entire box, a disordered state, and to put the particles back into an ordered state would require energy. This is irreversible. It's like cracking an egg to make an omelet. Once it spreads out and fills the frying pan, it will never go back to being egg-shaped. Well said. It's the same with the universe. As it evolves, the overall entropy increases. So yeah, right. That's like there's a saying too, if you're alcoholic, or I don't know if it's just alcoholic, but which all are, especially, right, because that just means being emotionally immature and spiritually diseased, which I do believe everybody at this now moment in time is, pretty much, because I see people freaking out like all over the place. Well, they actually really aren't. You just really kind of see it on the television, but a lot of people are worried unnecessarily, and then some people for whatever reason. So again, everybody's going through the same and yet different experiences all together now. So right, there's one big soul tribe. So we are all in this together. We're all just facing different challenges, and that's we can just be supportive, best we can of ourselves and one another and just keep swimming, right? And just keep doing, just keep being you and doing so with love and intelligence and all the things, all the things that, right? Shake what your mama gave you, that the good God gave you, which is within you, right? And we all need to swim together in order to make it through. And we got this. Just keep swimming. Everybody's really doing great. You know, it's like just a lot of chaos and order out of chaos, or right, having organized chaos is, you know, not for everybody. It can be quite freaky for some. And some of us, right, are like adrenaline junkies and don't mind riding those crazy cuckoo waves. But we also don't like or want to be harmed, attacked, or hurt in any way. So, you know, again, do unto others as you'd like done to you. None of us enjoy those feelings or things. So sometimes, you know, I come out here and some like, and there's some shit coming out in my mouth. That's because, right, shit got, there's imbalance in systems that we're all, right, putting light on. So again, I only do those, it's like what I'm guided to, and when I don't, if I, it's like if my ego gets in the way or whatever, I'm like, oh, I always say, or sometimes I'll show it's like I bang my knee or bite my tongue, and I'm like, oh, that's what I get for talking shit. I said a little something extra or whatever. It's like, see, instant karma, like instant pudding. JELLO. All right, we're an hour in. I'm gonna finish this up and let's see. It turns out entropy, increasing disorder, is a pretty good way to explain time's arrow. And while it may seem like the universe is becoming more ordered rather than less, going from a wild sea of relatively uniformly spread out hot gas in its early stages to stars, planets, humans, and articles about time, it's nevertheless possible that it is increasing in disorder. That's because the gravity associated with large masses may be pulling matter into seemingly ordered states, with the increase in disorder that we think must have taken place being somehow hidden away in the gravitational fields. So disorder could be increasing even though we don't see it. But given nature's tendency to prefer disorder, why did the universe start off in such an ordered state in the first place? This is still considered a mystery. Some researchers argue that the Big Bang may not even have been the beginning. Yeah, no, it was not the beginning. That was the beginning of, order, because things got stuck together and got, right, like I said, kind of trapped within that ring of fire, the circle that, right, the creative form. But that's what also maybe, oh wait, hold on, I gotta do some meditating more on that, because they just gave me something that I'm not gonna go into right now, but I gotta do some meditating on that one. Interesting. Okay, so this is still considered a mystery. Some researchers argue that the Big Bang may not even have been the beginning, that there may be, in fact, there may be parallel universes where time runs in different directions. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, look at all the different highways we have and parkways and roads and etc. So yeah, really different than that. And boats and trains and planes, right? We travel and how we travel on bikes and automobiles and motorcycles. I mean, I'm getting a tickly throat. Let's see. Will time end? This is almost done. Thank you, Earth Sky, for and I'm sharing this reading. I'll share the writers too. Time had a beginning, but whether it will have an end depends on the nature of the dark energy that is causing it to expand at an accelerating rate. The rate of this expansion may eventually tear the universe apart, forcing it to end in a big rip. Alternatively, dark energy may decay, reversing the Big Bang and ending the universe in a big crunch. Or the universe may simply expand forever. Well, let me just say, as we was reading that, yeah, definitely not. The rate of the expansion may eventually tear the universe apart. No, that's definitely not going to happen. Forcing it to end in a big rip. No. We already had a tear, and that's like how we all fell in, and now we're all coming back together into 0 point gravity, into a balanced state. And there's a difference between the triple darkness that creates light and then antimatter that's made after, right, the fall, and like after things sit and get like ignored and put aside or put away. So a lot of that antimatter, um there's differences, right? The gray matter, dark matter, antimatter. Okay. And all carry energy and all have a purpose, and all, right, but right, some things like the video I did earlier, right, shouldn't be fucked with. And it's just out of respect and like honor, not necessarily so, but again, is we as people, as teenagers, as immature beings, or people that get really excited that we discovered something or found something new, so we think, and 110, that's 1:10 a.m. Um, and we can tend to, right, push the envelope, right? It's like the story of the Titanic. So we can rush things, or we have best intentions, right? Best intentions, they say, right, paves the road to hell. So sometimes we just get a little too focused and too caught up, and then we forget what was important to us before, right? I know I'm guilty of that. I got Aquarius moon, I'm a Taurus sun, Sag rising. I got nothing but fire, earth, and like quirky, like extraterrestrial need to, right, like um and also like great, it's like don't mistake the kindness for weakness, but the weakness or the kindness also, right, again, polarities. That's actually not really where I was going with that. I was gonna say, like, a lot of times, like, things like with Taurus can seem ego or stubborn, and like, but our Aquarian moon or the Taurus in us just sometimes can get nervous of things like, right, aren't right. We have there's a motherly energy too, that right, very earthy energy. So um right, that can get mistaken for ego, or oh, my throat's getting dry. And but ego, that can work in reverse, right? Like we could think we're better than, or it can come out that people, not just Taurus, Sag, Aquarius, any of us as people, um because we feel uncomfortable. So then in those moments we can tend to, right, puff our chest out more or act out more in order to overcompensate for the way that we're feeling. So again, that's a lot of the thing that we're dealing with now in a whole, going back to alcoholism and codependency, right? The fear of not being accepted, not being loved, not being wanted. Um, so what happens? People react, and we have dominant and, right, tyrannical behaviors, or addictive behaviors, codependent behaviors, immature emotional behaviors, and confused right? Well, sexual, mental, emotional bodies, physical bodies, everybody's all mixed up, confused, right? A train wreck, going back to the train. Choo choo. It was just 1 hour and 10 minutes in, exactly as I said it. And it's 1:13 a.m., 113. 311 in reverse. So, right, and also, yeah, reverse the curse. You can reverse what not reverse what you did, but by acknowledging being accountable, right, in within yourself, in the moon sign. It's like if we owe an apology to somebody, we'll be guided to make one, etc. But first things first, you got to take care of those thoughts and feelings and acknowledge patterns of behavior where we can attach to a person, place, or thing because we're actually in fear of being alone, again, not being accepted, not having what we need. We're afraid to, right? Because if we do, then blah 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 and duh, duh, duh. So all the things that we go through, right, in our head and within, and then we're like, nope, forget it, I just got it, or we can't, we're not allowed, it'll never happen, or that's just the way it is, or that's what we have to do, right? Um, so instead of saying those things, it's like, hold on, I'm going to take those moments to actually, I'm going to take a few moments, not those moments, I'm going to take a few moments to give to myself that time and space that I need to start to go through my thoughts and feelings and recognize, right, my insane or, my repetitive thought patterns that I repeat or that I act unconsciously without doing. I'm going to try to become more consciously aware of where I, right, have a nuclear atomic reaction, right, where I can fly off the handle or misdirect my anger or be afraid or feel anxiety, might be in a state of fear and panic and worry. I feel guilty if I don't ABC. And then why do we feel bad if because so and so, the person, place, or thing, they're used to us just doing without saying no. So it's just become a habit because we've always just, it's like, oh, no big deal. But now it's just been expected. But then sometimes, right, we don't want to keep running around that same clock. We don't want to keep running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. We don't want to just be labeled whatever position that is that, right, we've acquired to be a husband, a wife, right, a daughter, some whatever position in a job, or maybe somewhere where you live. It could be the living situation. It could be you want to actually move to a different, right, it could be a country or a different state, right, different part of your state or different part of, right, the country or state that you live in, or whatever it may be, right? You want different climate. You want to go from hot to cold or cold to hot. You're sick of like snow and you want to go experience, be near the ocean and some palm trees. You know, um, Depends, right? So, but life is here. It's an experience for us to all experience. And let me say it, how flavorful and rich and vibrant and like, right, endless our opportunities and abilities are to create and learn and grow and, right, explore and have adventures and, right, evolve. And like, what a fucking amazing time that we are in, speaking of time, right, to be able to be going through this together and, right, ascending or growing or, right, going through the shit, going through all of it, right, through sickness and in health, richer or poorer, right? It's like we're all in this shit together. We're all in it together, no matter what. No matter what. Right? And the best we can do is love, support, guide, and go through it. Right? Just keep swimming. You know? Um, yeah, and remember what it's like to have the, sometimes put ourselves in another's position. We got to put ourselves in other people's position, not try to, right, be the stepsisters of Cinderella and shove our big fat feet into shoes that don't fit. If the shoe don't fit, then, right, it don't fit. If it ain't yours, it ain't yours, right? Just let it go. um, and there's like a feeling we get, like, why did chicken cross the road when we should or shouldn't do something. So, again, sometimes we decide it's like, yeah, so again, it's whatever's whatever. We're all, you know, again, we all have our moments to explore, experience, whatever you're here to experience. Um, and you're always allowed to change. The only constant is change. So some people, places, and things may not like it when you decide to make a decision for yourself that changes you. It's like when an alcoholic decides to get sober, it takes a long time, first of all, and but you start to realize you're not alone, and you also start to gain all these amazing tools that you knew you had, but you were afraid to use, right? And that's like everybody wearing masks, smoke screens. So you cover it up, right? It's 119, which 911 in reverse, backwards, which is also 11. Well, I'm just gonna take a sip of my tea. Ugh, I'm drinking kava tea. It's quite lovely. Um, that's my chair problem. Keep it off my wave. Reverse. I'll just say because 911, you have 119. I say it's spirit. The funk was on siren. I might be surfing too fast. Sometimes I can tend to do that. Oh, yeah, all going through this together. Yeah. Right, it's like law of one, and um, it's like again the ocean. Time is like the ocean, so we could all be in the ocean, like right, Titanic jumped over. So we're all swimming around in the water, and it's like, but are we all safe? It's like Marco Polo. So sometimes a wave may hit you, sometimes a wave may hit me, even though we're right near each other. We may not get hit by the same wave, and it can be quite scary when we do get hit with one, right? So 121, you know, it's just an experience in that now moment. So remembering how to, right, balance out use our breath to balance out our energy, our energetic body, calm down our thoughts, right? Talk to your inner child like you would, you know, any other child. If you have children of your own, or you babysit or nanny or have nieces and nephews or whatever have you, right? It's like if you're helping a child across the street, or a child's scared and is crying or upset or scraped their knee, it's like, right, we try to comfort them, or they fall on their bike. Sometimes we can giggle a little, like, hey, it's okay, come on, get up, it's okay. We giggle, not laughing because we're laughing at them, like, haha, sucker. No, laughter is also medicine. So sometimes it's like, oops, if they're, it's like, you okay, come on, get up, silly. So a mother, we can giggle a little bit, right, when someone gets hurt. And also I can laugh when people get hurt, like, like the show Ridiculousness. Lots of us do that. So that can be quite narcissistic behavior if you say that. But when we say that and we put ourselves in that experience in our mind, and right, are able to see that occasionally, right? It's like when we laugh, or we laugh when somebody gets hurt because they're okay. It's like, oh God, because that could have been really horrible. So fear can make us put us in a position that we do something that's off, or that looks like or appears like, right, somebody, right, like we, as a person, we don't care, or we think something's funny, or but that could be a reaction because somebody feels uncomfortable, right? Again, like we were talking about ego um and actually being in the feeling of lack, because that's like the reverse of the ego, which again are polar opposites. Like we either feel really good or really shitty. So then people have to overcompensate. So we want to always try to find that, right, that sweet spot. Once we recognize a polarity that we are or have, right, it's like, okay, I'm that, so then I gotta also have some of that, and then everything in between that, take a look, right, like what vibrates, what's in alignment. So again, just taking the time to take a look at those things. So I'm gonna just quick pull the Alice in Wonderland tarot card just to see what energy B says, and maybe a soul journey. Oh, we got one already. Three of Swords. Three of Swords. So it might be hard to let go of some stuff. Three of Swords energy. Can be like, right, broken heart, feeling sorry, dang Claire. Oh boy. Getting whistled at. There we go. And this one happens to look like a big cake. Right? So it also could be like, watch what you eat. Right? Don't drink the water. Dave Matthews song. Right, yeah, and there's a lot of shit going on. So, right, it's like Snow White too. Remember that witch poisoned the apple? So that's what this is making me think right now, looking at this. This is more like, careful what you're eating, careful again of the thoughts you're thinking, and normally Three of Swords is like broken heart, but this is a little more like, we're opening the heart chakra, so you don't want to keep hurting yourself and stabbing yourself in the heart, and right. What's that? Cutting your nose to spite your face type, saving your nose to spite your face, cutting your whatever that is, cutting your nose off to spite your face. At the bottom of the deck, we got. Let's see if I can do this without going the wrong way as always. Ace of Cups. So, right, illusion. It can look like one way in the mirror, and this also is representing to me mirror magic, because this keeps coming up. There's like mirror magic going on and all this other stuff. Mirror, mirror on the wall, make it appear one way. And it's not that way at all. Whatever. So, sorry about all the glary glares. So, let me see. So, like, yeah, that's making me think. Hold on, let me just, bottom of the deck. Lots of magic. We're kind of pink clouds, so illusions. There's the waterfall. The gold framed picture frame. A rectangle. A rectangle is never a square. I like the gold chalice to make it look like a teacup on sauce. The teacup and the saucer is sticking out to me. I mean, I know I'm drinking tea, but that's not why. So maybe something like, it's okay. Wait. Okay, yeah. All right. So if somebody offers you, hold on a minute, some tea, or some cake and tea, or some kind of something with it. This is giving me a weird, yeah, like not weird, but like that's what it's saying. So yeah, if somebody offers you, just careful where you eat, careful where you not careful, but just be cautious and aware. And then just to clarify that, the one underneath that is yeah, Queen of Wands here. And she just don't want to give up that spot. Like she's staying sitting there in the dry desert with her cat in the sun with her poofy dress, like holding that flag. Like I am not letting go of this, whatever that is. So yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, but it has to do with this energy. So yeah, whoever's trying to write either, and we've all been dealing with that shit anyway, like people trying to get in our lives, poison our shit, like take our names or write fraudulent shit. I mean, take this how it resonates. It could have to do with, again, seen, unseen, person, place, or thing. If it resonates in any manner, or you feeling any like, I need like any of that like vibration, just right, caution to the wind. Just use caution. I don't mean freak out. I have to like, oh my god, just be in your present now moment. And look, you got Alice like, bitches. It ain't happening, bitches. Right, so that's gotta be you, right? Look, and look at all she's standing on the table. She's like, I ain't eating that shit. I ain't eating your poisoned vomit, verbal vomit. I ain't eating that. I'm not eating your right, whatever, all that. She's standing right on the table. Like, how dare you try to poison me? How dare you try to stick me with those needles? I'm just kidding. She's like, I have your heart on a flag. I'm the Queen of Wands. I'm gonna stick everybody with this fucking pole. Whatever the fuck. So anyhow, whatever all that was, we went from like scientific quantum physics to that's how we do here on the Metaphysical Mama channel. Welcome to metaphysics. We surf all over the place. It's all in the water. And then we got upside down emperor under that, so I'm not gonna go any farther than that. But yeah, well, upside down emperor, but yeah, it's not telling me to do anything with that. But yeah, so doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo. Oh no, maybe you can see in this way. Oh, no. I'm just gonna pull a soul's journey card. Oh, actually, you know what I'm gonna pull? Hold up a second. I got a little more information on that motherfucking bitch, working. Yeah, let's get some information. I got the Black Moon astrology cards here. Oh, something fell right away. Hold up. What the fuck is that? Right out the middle of the deck, too. We got, I think, 2, 3, 4, oh, any more? So we got South Node. Ooh, South Node. Life's debts. Reaper time. We got reverse, lunar eclipse, change. But this to me right now is saying like, yeah, that's 43. The upside down of this right now is like, yeah, liar, pants on fire, right? Again, that came up before jumping. I'm on the telephone wire. Shit's getting hung out to say dry or hung out to develop, like the picture, the information they have, so to speak, etc. Because these beings that are doing this shit, there's others watching them, right? So there's those that are right on the defense and taking information, and then there's others that are like they're watching these motherfuckers doing like so. There's like a pause, for some going on with this, right? Change is it's like pause, being held up, being information's being gathered, and they're putting shit together. And then yeah, because that's like the accounting system. So then after that we have grand trine and blessings, which is number 46, which you could break down to a 10, masculine and feminine. And 10th house, the world. So yeah, didn't really like give us any like, yeah, it didn't give us no like solid like, oh, it's this sign or that sign or anything. Hey, I'm in a live video. But on the bottom of the deck it's Aquarius, which says I know. So could be Aquarius involved, right? Third house, messages. So yeah, you're gonna get the messages that you need to receive. They're not gonna like, yeah, because it's gonna be Saturn, truth. So yeah, the truth's gonna be brought to you, right? In some kind of message. It may be in a dream, it may be through another being, maybe through, right, something you see, something's gonna come to show you what you need to see in order to have awareness and maybe take some kind of responsibility. Maybe it's just learning to have that awareness. So, right, it's like we got to learn how to cross the street. So sometimes we need, right, a said bad witch coming with, or you got it, we have to beware, there's something to be scared of, right? In order to beware, so we have the knowledge to not get harmed, right? Like, don't touch the stove because it's hot, right? Oh yeah, so don't we all touch it at least once? Mm-hmm. Or definitely by accident, right? So once you get burned, you know that shit hurts, right? Or if you're a chef like me, sometimes you gain a tolerance, and our hands can take pretty intense amounts of heat. But it depends, right? Again, you have to, that's conditioning from and tempering from doing something over and over and gaining, right, the ability to not have such a sensitivity to it because we're more aware of it, right? Because we've done it before over and over, right? We've learned because we've gotten, right, we've done that shit again and again. Right? So as we're approaching, as we're into fall, again, happy autumn, happy attuning, happy fall. I just, my arm just stuck to that. They just said they show me, right, Jupiter, abundance. You know, we have abundance to look forward to, and you know, your health is your wealth. And if you ain't got that, you ain't got shit, right? Money can't save yourself, right? So balance, right? And allowing yourself to, right, just because somebody's saying, right, that there's all that, right, like, look, when they're like, oh, it's gonna rain, there's gonna be this big storm. Sometimes there is, and sometimes there ain't shit, right? So, right, why did the chicken cross the road? I don't know, it depends. Which chicken are we talking about? And right, who's on first? Who said what to the chicken that made him go running across the road without looking both ways, right? Or being with the partner that was gonna help, like, right, be watchdog for his ass so he could cross. He needed it, right? He needed a crossing guard. Or just because the sign says walk, right, doesn't mean that we're necessarily safe to cross. We still have to use our discernment and our common sense and our body, right, our senses to look both ways before we walk or pull out into the street or, right, what have you. Still gotta look both ways, even though the light may change green or the light is green, I still always look at like going through across an intersection if I'm driving or walking, right? Especially if I have any other, any other living beings with me. I'm and then more extra cautious, right? Which everything's living, but right when we have someone else responsibility, somebody else in our hands, right? A little more mother ducky, right? And again, I've said this in a few videos, but I don't know that we're putting enough attention to this. I don't say anything really on the news. Like, I really would like to see us all start doing more for like our children, because this is real important. How is this affecting, like, this is a galactic ascension, but let's not forget about our children. Like, all these adults running around so concerned with whether they can drink, go to the movies, and like get on a fucking airplane and wearing a mask that, right? What do they say? Like, when this all came out way back, it was like, yeah, like, not to be gross, but right, when you fart, does your pants hold that in? No. And so those masks also have never held it. So it's like, you got to really do your research, and have awareness of, right, what you're buying into. Again, what shit cake you're taking a bite out of, right? Just because it looks like cake doesn't mean it's cake, right? They could have made that chocolate cake out of shit, and they just put chocolate frosting on it. So yeah, discernment, right? And we are what we eat, and food for thought, right? So thoughts are things, and we swallow them things through the back of our head, right? It's like our brains are absorbing all the information. And so the words that we think and say and allow others to speak over us, or that we're processing, and we swallow, that programs, right, down our spine. It's like swallowing down the back of the neck. What the hell movie was that? There was like a girl, she like lifted up her hair and fed the back of her neck. It was like Adam's Family or what? I can't remember. One of those older movies. Yeah, she like, anyhow, but that's what it's like, the reptilian part of our brain too, right? Or where our head is attached to the spine, right? So those things, the things that we say, think, and listen to and allow, right? That's just what we're starting to like clear out the junk of now, right? It's like slow it down. You don't have to allow all that shit to be force fed, right? Okay, by the Queen of Wands, right? The Media. Right. Trying to keep you from your holy grail and giving you, right? Oh, maybe Boston Tea Party? I don't, that's kind of, because, yes. Oh, well, today was the day some with the Salem witch trials, it said, right? It was the last day or something, with that, and the rest were released. Is this when they stopped doing it? I forget what I read now. I'll have to rewind. Good thing for that's how we can go back in time, right? Good thing we can go back so we can remember. That's another thing. We're a race of forgetful beings. So, yeah, right. Thank God and be grateful for Father Time and having to do things over and over again, right? Saturn. Confidence is your key to success. I was beginning to think we weren't going to get a card from the moon deck there. I was like, all right, maybe I'm just going to shuffle the whole rest of the end of this. And conclusions are within reach. That came out earlier too. I just did lots of shuffling on that one. So be confident in yourself, right? To thine own self be true, because God made you to be you, and that's the best you that you could absolutely possibly be. And as we're going through all this transmutation and, right, raising our vibrations and acknowledging our right shitty ones too. Again, everything has, so nothing's really shitty. It's just like sometimes it's like, you know, awesome, and sometimes, yeah, it's just shitty. It just is what the fuck it is. um, so allow yourself to go through that stuff too. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, what's wrong and all this other stuff. It's like, right? You're just acknowledging going through your process, and you're just processing what you need to process, and there's nothing wrong, right? It's 1:44, right? Or 1:43 on the phone, but 1:44 on my coffee machine. I'm a little ahead there. Oh, and 1:41 for as we're in. So yeah, it's like, again, this saying that a friend of mine said to me a while back. It's like, in those moments you'd be like, thank you so much for your care and concern. I'll have to take a look at that. So, right, being so grateful, or again, people are going to get upset when, that's what I was saying earlier. If you start to heal, or you start to change or pull away from routine or what people expect of you, or sometimes you can get upset if it's stuff that, right? Again, we got to look where we expect things from others too. Um, so looking at expectations and, right, wishing and hoping, those kind of things. Because those things can just get us stuck. They're not bad, but we just have to be aware that we don't get, ourselves caught up in an illusion. Um, by allowing ourselves to, right, be too much in the pink clouds. Right, like the Ace of Cups here. So it's like, right, it looks one way, but in the mirror, they're showing a whole nother thing. So, which is fine too, because it could just be polar opposites. I have this and you have that, or it's like, or you have, we take turns, or that could be that too. Right, again, putting the shoe on the other foot, but but and that's again in different. I'm just referring to the Ace of Cups. Well, and whatever. So I don't know. Do we have anything else? I think we. And please like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you haven't done so already, so we can grow our vibration and expand as well. I got Jupiter abundance in the house. The more energy we put in, the more we grow. Again, thoughts are things, so where we start to put them is where they start to grow. Like little seeds. And change a thought, move a direction, right? So work those muscles. I think we're done, because I'm not getting any. They're not even pulling a soul journey card. Oh, there we go. Just I let Agni keep shuffling, because I just said your health is your wealth. Just so you, right? Energy never lies. People do. Everything come down the stream eventually. And everything hidden needs to come to light. Right? So just keep doing you and do what you need to do to honor yourself. This says, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. And on that note, one love. And thank you so much for hanging out. It's a nice mandala to meditate upon. And our health is our wealth. And nobody knows you better than God and yourself. Right? And God is within you. Right? And all the power you have to change, right? What you need to in your now moment, right? If you want to put the time and energy into doing so, right? That's like, it's like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't know how. I'm gonna do it, because I'm gonna listen and just be present. I don't need to know I don't need to know how. I just know I'm going to be guided if I tune in. If I tune up my instrument and get on stage, right, then we all play together. Right? And some of us may be a little squeaky. That's all right. It'll make for more laughs later. All right. I thank you so much again for your time and energy and being here with me. And definitely please come back. All right. Mwah. One love. Till next time.